It's a cool lick. In fact, it's my favorite lick of all time. But it's a lick. How do we turn that into a fill, a usable fill? Because I'm sure as hell not going to play that for an entire measure. What's up, YouTubers? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. And after that last lesson, I was kind of blown away by the amount of comments. It's probably the most comments any video I've ever uploaded has received in that short amount of time. And the comments were all about me asking you a question. Do you want more conceptual lessons? And it was flooded with, yes, we do want more of that stuff. And the thing is, I've been teaching YouTube lessons since 2005, rights, lefts, kicks, grooves, fills, independence. I'll teach that for the rest of my life. That's this instrument. That's teaching this instrument. And I love doing it. And I'll always do it on Mike'sLessons.com. That, if you want to learn new things to work on, that stuff will always be there for you on Mike'sLessons.com. But I figured on YouTube, I've been doing the same thing for a long time. Let's just take a short break and do some conceptual lessons. Sometimes you know what to practice, but you don't always know why you're practicing it. And more importantly, you might not know how to use it properly. So if we want to learn how to make a practical, usable drum fill out of a chop, first we have to define what a chop is. And chop, lick, those go kind of hand in hand. For me, as a California kid, I always thought of it as chops was drums, licks was guitar. Because I heard guitarists say, oh, I'm working on this sweet lick. And I heard drummers say, I'm working on this sweet chop. But really, both of them are the same thing. Doesn't matter how you use it. And a chop or a lick is just a short passage of notes that you can repeat over and over and over again. So it's not a full idea. Think of it almost like a vocabulary word versus a sentence. It's just a word. And we probably wouldn't take a word that we learned and use it over and over and over again in a row, even though I just said over and over and over and over. Instead, you would wait for the right moment to present itself and you would use that word properly and you would say, man, that cat speaks so eloquently. He's a veritable cornucopia of infinite vocabulary. 17th take of doing that one sentence. Learning a multiple advanced vocab, say, all right, so let's take a simple idea, a very simple idea that most of you probably already know, like a John Bonham triplet. You can play it as right, left, kick, or kick, right, left, it doesn't matter, but we'll do right, left, kick for now. If we do that on loop, it's just a chop. So it's a vocabulary word, it's a skill set, and it's fantastic, but you have to learn how to use it. So then once you have these chops or these licks down, you have to start thinking, okay, cool, I've got a new vocabulary word, how am I going to use it in a sentence? So start thinking, what is this thing? Well, in this case, for me, I'm feeling it as 16th note triplets, right, left, kick. So 1 and a 1 and a 2. I like that idea. Cool. Now I've got a fill built out of the chop. And that is totally usable, totally practical. What about something more advanced? So one of my favorite chops is something I got from Todd Zuckerman's first DVD, Methods and Mechanics Part 1, I believe it's called. And it's basically, I use it all the time, all the time. It's a septuplet, don't freak out. You don't have to think of septuplets, you don't have to know what they are. But it is 7 notes long. And what it is it's a bass drum all by itself, followed by a paradiddle diddle. But the notes are equidistant, they are evenly spaced. And if I did that as a fill 4 times in a row, it's just a little bit bland. As cool as that chop is, 4 times in a row, not that cool. There was no way I was stopping that after the 3rd cycle and making a 6-bar phrase out of it, so I had to finish it. All right, so on its own, cool. And trust me, when I learn a new chop like that, I do use it too much. But eventually it's like, well, I want this to launch me into something. So if this is 1, then maybe beats 2, 3, and 4 are totally up to me. Not bad. Oh, I gotta get some bludged in there, hold on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, is like, don't just loop the damn thing. Just use it as like a launch ramp. What am I doing? I have no idea, but just use it as a launch ramp and get excited to be like, okay, this gets me started. Same thing with a bludgeon itself. I don't want to go. So to put a little biscuity bow on this thing, how do we turn a chop or a lick into an actual practical fill? Use less of it. That's the real lesson here. Try using whatever your chop is, maybe just at the beginning of the fill, or maybe just in the middle, or maybe just at the end. Sometimes it can be a perfect launch ramp, or sometimes it's just a great way. Maybe that little chop is so cool, you want to make the fill simple in the beginning and use it to just rev the engine a little bit at the end. And this is where you start to really find your voice, because we all as drummers have access to the same information. A paradiddle is a paradiddle. Right, left, left, left. If you go paradiddle, paradiddle, by now I've already recognized it. If I'm watching you play, I go, cool, he or she is using paradiddles. If you go paradiddle, bam, boom, boom, ba-dum-ba-da-ba, I might not recognize it in the beginning. So when you learn something, then to try to make it your own, make it practical, make it useful, just don't use it too much. Just like saying cornucopia, 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 cornucopia. So YouTubers, I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like more stuff like this, if you would like tons of courses on independence, foot speed, hand speed, grooves, fills, head over to Mike'sLessons.com. But until next time, go practice.